kind of the nice smile and the pretty face and the lovely voice. So
kind of like a Bond villain.
Kind of, yes, a little bit like a Bond villain, yes.
Not a swab though, not a swab. You know, Jason's a bit more of a brute in a good way. If there is a good way of being a brute, I don't know.
I was just gonna say, man.
We're jumping into the first map here, the first game of the final Super Weekend. 4 teams have sat this one out, unfortunately not able to qualify for the final Super Weekend. But Imperium, man, I am so hyped. At the same time, I'm very nervous for a few of these teams, because while we have the likes of The Infinity, while we have teams like Genesis Dogma, and some of the top dogs like Starwood Esports who are pretty much confirmed to play in the finals, for about quite a handful of them, everything depends on how they play these coming 3 days.
Yes, it's very open overall in terms of who's going to make it in to the finals. There's 2 teams in my eyes confirmed to not make it in. That is, of course, BC Swell. Unfortunately, didn't make it to any Super Weekend. And Tong Zhao Bao. They're on 163 points. It's below the cutoff. I can see all of the teams below them pass them up. So that means there's 2 spots available for teams to not make it into the finals. And when you have the likes of Nova, Deadeye's guys, BTR, FaZe, Xavier, Down One Gaming, and Cryptics all fighting to stay out of those 2 spots, it's leading to a very spicy 15 games.
I was looking like it was going to be a bit spicy there for Roth against Powerboy, but Powerboy decides, you know what, it's fine. I'll let him be. Looking at the points as you were touching upon, yeah, 160 for the side of Tang Jiabao. It's looking rough, right? And now looking at the zone, we haven't seen too much of a Kameshki Stolber zone, right? It's usually been centralized. We've seen quite a few Sosnovka circles coming in, but this could be interesting. I personally love seeing a final Severny zone, especially, you know, with a little bit of water action coming into play.
I would love to see the phase 2 continue to shift up the north, up towards the northeast. Stalbar Kameshki would be absolutely spot on for me as a circle ending, because we just haven't really seen it in the Pmgc. FaZe Clan, though, starting today, sending a bit of a message to Cryptics and the rest of the teams in the lobby: do not mess with us. We saw on the league stage they played Bull Shark, so they were having that kind of optional substitute, you know, participating in to get them some game practice. And now it is what they right now perceive as the OG crew, which is Corpai, MR5, Ventores, and Tony K. Cannot forget about Beer11 and how much of a positive impact he's had on the team and their performances. But led by MR5, I'm sure they're confident of doing everything they can to stay in the Pmgc finals.
For sure. FaZe have, I won't lie. At the end of week 1, I'm like, FaZe, BTR, yeah, they're really not delivered. Yes. I don't think it's looking good. But hey, hold up, Nick McGalaxy. Out of nowhere, just assassinating a member of Nova.
Interesting.
Open, and I see none of his teammates in the vicinity. Yeah, I think you said it right. That is interesting.
Because Nigma aren't known to disengage away from Pachinki too early. And I really feel that was a little bit of a targeted kill onto Nova, because Nova do play split. So if the vehicle was taken away from Roof, in the mind of Nigma, I can bet they were thinking, wait, he's probably going to be looting up close by. Roof has been on his own, but the rest of us have looted up. Let's go for the kill, and then we'll go back to Pachinki. That's really good for Nigma. That's the kind of fight, that's the kind of determination and the aggression that we saw from them back in the PMPLs when they were bullying the teams around them. Whereas this time, they've had a lot of hard hits. They've had a lot of punishment coming their way in the PMGC so far, but they survived. And in this final Super Weekend, I like how they're starting things off.
Yeah, I guess that's the one. I wouldn't even call it a complaint, but that's the one thing we've all noticed from Enigma Galaxy. Just look at the way they've accrued their points, right? The majority, the huge chunk of the points they've got have come in from placements. Yes. They're a team who are very comfortable not taking duels, You know, they just like to. You know, what is the movie? Was it Godzilla, the first one, where we had
Godzilla?
the scientist who was like, "Let them fight," right? I think that's that's Enigma Galaxy's motto. They're like, "Yeah,
Fair.
let them fight. You're just gonna sit
Yep.
back and watch," and it works for them. But as you said, you know, when you're reaching the final Super Weekend, and if you want to qualify for the global finals, because I'm assuming Enigma Galaxy, the way they played recently, they should be pretty much a shoe-in for the East Finals, and if they
Yes.
do want to qualify to the next stage of the Global Championship Finals, then they need to go to the next gear. And I feel this is the right way, right? The right approach. Starting to take
Of
this
course.
fight, not being too wild either, but a little bit more of controlled aggression. I love it.
And a couple of stats to kind of back up what you said. In the Super Weekend so far, their points distribution have been 130 placement points and 79 kill points. Whereas in the League Week 3 that we've just seen finish up, they finished up with 32 placement points and 39 kill points. So that, you know, that aggression, that improvement is definitely coming through from the MENA side, and it's such a joy to see. Teams are now starting to make their way through on the rotations. Cryptic's opting to kind of move away from North George, Tazarki away from FaZe Clan. That opens the door for FaZe Clan to sweep in from the west on the north side of the river, which is common sense the easiest path line into this circle on the north side. They do need to consider that phase 2 might shift down south, and that will make the kind of north of Yasnaya a little bit more congested. But for now, the entry point into phase 1 is pretty spot on for FaZe Clan, as Nova got caught out, now starting to make their way in, but 4 rivals are a little bit in front of them.
A bit of a lull in the action. Our 4 rivals, yeah, a few bullets being unleashed, but won't really find its mark. And while we do have a little bit of lull in the action, oh, Jimmy getting tagged down a little bit there, but he's fine, he's all good. Yeah, just reminding all our viewers as well, you know, that if you are watching this game either on YouTube or the In-Game Esports Center, remember that we have a Pmgc exclusive. We have the Treasure Box Imperium.
Hell
You
yeah.
can redeem that. You can get some exclusive stuff right there.
Yeah, just go to the Esports Center in game, you watch Pmgc live, you grab some Pmgc tokens, and then you can redeem it for permanent items in the store. So, you know, that treasure box is there, go for it. Why not? You watch it, you get free stuff, everybody wins. That's as simple as that.
It's Christmas after all, you know,
Exactly.
and it's a season of giving, a season of receiving as well. So yeah, don't forget to claim your happy boxes.
So,
Call it
what are you getting me for Christmas then for that?
absolutely nothing. You're being a bad boy, Imperium.
So not even a lump of coal?
Fine, I'll mail you a lump of coal,
There
which
you
will
go.
probably be more expensive, sending all the way from India to Ireland. The postal charges are going to be way more than a lump of coal, but yeah, you know what? Screw it, I'll do it. Tony K, he's close by to Rico Infinity, and SK10's like, I wonder what FaZe Clan are up to, but not really taking any shots yet. It is one of those slower starts, right? You saw the plane path, and even though the zone is a bit of, you know, not really central, it still does encompass a big chunk of the main island. I think the second zone is when we might be seeing a few teams just hit the ground here.
And that's where I really like FaZe Clan's rotation,
go.
because even though FaZe 2's popped up and it kind of has gone down southwest, they can still wrap around Stallbar and come in through the north edge. It is going to take some time if they go around Stallbar on the north side, but they can still come through on the south side and stay relatively out of trouble. I really liked how the Xavier set themselves up positionally. It's on that kind of the Lion King mountain just outside of Mansion. It gives such a great oversight around the Yasnaya area. They have that locked under their control. Down One Gaming have a pretty good split. I also love Genesis Dogma. They're on that eastern side outside of Lipovka. Now Reject are going a little bit too deep on their rotation, and I'm worried about them. For now, Nigma still in Pachinki, and Infinity are starting to rotate out of the blue.
Down One Gaming A team who were kind of missing at the beginning of the entire league stage and the first Super Weekend, but they have ramped up, man. They have slowly but surely ramped up. Sure, you see them on the
Big
bottom of
time.
the table, 102, but hey, one good game is all they need, and boom, they're just going to be catapulting themselves all the way up to where Nova is, and maybe even just tying things up with Tang Jiabao. You're right, they might be one of the few teams to do that. So definitely the South Koreans have impressed, but now this is crunch time. This is where you separate the boys from men, and this is where you really deliver. You might have had your ups and downs. You've been given, the excuses, where they're like, oh, they had a slow start, they're figuring stuff out. Now you have to deliver it. Now there are no more excuses. If you don't make it, you don't make it. You have to sit it out. You're going home, buddy.
Every single team that's fighting for the top 16, the destiny is in their control. Yeah, they can use a circle shift as an excuse. They can use this, that, and the other. But realistically, at this stage, like you said, there is nothing. Cryptics going on that north side, very valiant rotation. I think FaZe were a little bit slow in the rotation of FaZe. You understand, maybe they were a bit cautious informational-wise, coming all the way from the west. But I think they could have been a little bit quicker on their execution in this phase too. Like I said, Reject went deep into the circle. They went straight for Mansion, unoccupied. I kind of get that. A compound like Mansion, you tend not to really want to commit to it too early in the game. It's a little bit of a false kind of security where it looks so. Generally, you have to disengage away from Mansion on a hard shift on phase 3, phase 4. It's all flat terrain around it, and it makes it so challenging. So I get why it was free, but I also respect that Reject are taking it as a two-person team. They have not committed the full squad to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also keeping an eye on Starwood Esports. They've moved past prison, and they're probably scratching their heads and wondering, wait, where is everybody? Because everyone's moved further up north, more central, but Starwood Esports, they're continuing on the trajectory. The third circle's going to be coming up very quickly as well. Senkai's taking quite a bit of damage. Cryptics, El Chapo, the bullets trailing him, but somehow Senkai, alongside his teammate, will be able to escape. Not unscathed though. They have lost a couple of players, and oh my word, a Lipovka's final zone. Okay, I haven't seen that yet thus far.
Yes, this is brand new in terms of circle finishes for Pmgc as far as I know, and it opens a door. You have the kind of flatter side on the west where you have Mansion and the Lion King Hill, and then you have the kind of hillier side, which is just to the west of Lipovka and to the north of Prison. This is really interesting in terms of a phase 3 shift, and I'm here for it. A lot of the teams were already inside the circle, and now 4Rivals and Down One Gaming, they're starting to fight.
Have to deliver Appy, getting the first knock, but Sung able to take down Pemburu. Right now, a 3v3 Forest is crawling around. That should be a quick finish here for 4Rivals on the Forest, but no, they're going to bide their time. Not really committing to the finish in Forest. I mean,
you can give information.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little surprised why Appy hasn't finished him off. He had an easy opportunity, and I think now he's going to be coming around the corner. Yeah, there we have it. Forest finally will be dropped. It took a little bit of a while, but now Down One Gaming, now they need to go for the play. I love this. Sung and Uni pushing together, trying to maybe potentially finish up Pemburu, as Rithal trying to take the battle here, as Uni does get dropped as well, and Down One Gaming not looking good. A sliver of HP.
Nice.
He wins the duel, but Appy spraying blindly will get the knock, and he's got to finish him all off. That's a clean wipe coming in from 4Rivals. I don't think they even lost a single member there. There we go. A couple of knocks, but not quite able to get a single kill where the South Korean side. And 4Rivals, they need to get the res real quickly and patch themselves up, because coming up in their direction, MS Chonburi, they know what transpired right there.
And now we move on over to Genesis Dogma going up against FaZe on the eastern coastline. Vittorious is knocked. Tony K down to around 40 health. Have to be aware that Rico Infinity are to the north of FaZe. The split is there. A lovely nade being cooked up. Will that connect? Goes a little bit too short.
Cargo's flying though. Yeah, this is not comfortable for
MR5.
And look at Corbe coming in as well. And Daybot's like, well, I'm out of here. They're going to rattle up bullets. Daybot, oh, he's going to come barreling straight down. MR5 getting shot at from the side. And Daybot stays alive. That's the great escape here. And Satar now helping his teammate out with the Mini 14. Oh, Genesis Dogma are playing this so very well. The adaptation, the contingency plan in the form of Satar as well. And FaZe, I like the attempt pushing in the cavalry, charging in to help the teammates out. But Genesis Dogma, they are just one step ahead.
They just fell for hook, line, and sinker, being perfectly honest with FaZe. Gets another knock into Daybot. Just two more players left for FaZe. It shouldn't have been a push. You take the loss and you move away. That was a clear bait from Genesis Dogma. If you see one player there, you got to know the rest of the team are going to be around the area to cover him. And that's exactly what Genesis Dogma were. Now as the circle shifts away, they're leaving Nickel inside the compound, and the rest of the team are going to push. They clean up FaZe so they can focus on holding on to the northeastern edge of the circle. This is so good for Genesis Dogma. It seems like FaZe bit off more than they could chew left.
I say that, but Corbe's gonna take a bite out of Daybot. So FaZe, they managed to patch themselves back up. This is quite impressive actually from FaZe. I thought they were out, they were done and gone and whatever I wanted to say there, but yeah, but they're somehow still battling it out. Team member still standing live as Infinity having to go up against 628. Looking at the kill feed though, it looks like Genesis Dogma are once again making quick work. That does look like FaZe are out of it. There we go. For a moment there, I was starting to believe they're gonna res themselves off. They're gonna take the fight back to Genesis Dogma, but Genesis Dogma, there's a reason why they have been picked to, at least one of our analysts picked them to win the chicken dinner. I do believe it was Kalaris, and fittingly so. They look good, just losing, not even losing a single man, and they have 4 kills to their name.
6-8, holding on to that Prison Hill is always risky. Probably should have predicted that a team was going to be coming in from the south behind you. It has been Infinity, and 6-8 paid the price. The other 2 players that are left for 6-8 are now pushing in. As Enigma Galaxy gets a bit of a run over kill. Happy days on that one. Freak looking for another couple of shots as Action does what he can to support his teammate. Has to turn around though, because here's the thing, the compound Stalwart hold on to is good, but it has multiple angles of fire towards this direction.
Yeah, and it's Enigma Galaxy. Okay, Rico Infinity. I didn't even realize there were bleeding players out. Well, it looks like they're down to just a 1 man. It's a bit of a rough start here for them. Oh, never mind, they've been eliminated. Just a rough start for the MENA team. Cryptics as well, still 2 players alive and kicking. 6-8 down to just a 2-man squad. And for Starboard Esports, you did point out how they need to be wary of other players, you know, third partying in. But looking at the map, I guess it's only Enigma Galaxy. And if look, I know that Enigma Galaxy have been a little bit more aggressive of late, but I feel like old habits just might kick in. I think they're just gonna keep quiet, play the edge of the zone, and be like, yeah, you guys fight it out. We'll just buy it a time.
Well, and that's okay, because there's aggression and there's calculated aggression. The best teams always have calculated aggression. Don't know when to turn that on, right? Was it in the words of Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. So it is important to use that at the right moments. What I love about Reject though is that they moved away from Mansion. They recognized that if the circle shifts away, it's incredibly difficult. They did hand it over to Deadeye's guys though in the process, but I really prefer where Reject have put themselves. They are at risk of the hill to the east of them, but they're also to an extent protected from it for the time being, and they can focus more heavily on the west. They have a lovely spread in that compound. MS Chambori, though, we saw them take out Rico and Fiend. Their next target is most likely going to be 4 rivals on that north side, but the Xavier could third party. However, they've got to think about BTR.
Look at how flat the terrain is. Oh, that zone.
Oh boy.
The Xavier and BTR. Whoever comes out on top of this, they're gonna be a pretty comfortable place. But yeah, the O boys coming out from you. This is open plain, naked terrain, Imperium. Sure, maybe a couple of trees, maybe some kind of sloping, I wouldn't even call it hills, but mountains. But apart from that, this is gonna be just a battle royale of snakes eventually.
It really is, and who has the most amount of vehicles available? Who keeps those vehicles running available to use? That's going to be a big part of the final circle. Biding your time, Nova are in to an extent, the center of it right now, they have Infinity to the south, followed by 628, BTR to the west, Enigma Galaxy now rotating in on the eastern side, getting ahead of the likes of Reject, followed by 4 rivals on that northern side. They have no idea where they're really going, it feels, but they're pushing into the center. In my eyes, that's not the call. That's not the way to do it on phase 5.
Oh my lord, bullets, they're flying thick and fast. You said it, it's a scary
No way!
But Abby, you absolute animal! He just completely obliterates Nova! That was a 1v3, and it just completely wrecks them. How does he do it? How does he do it?
That shouldn't have worked. By all logic, that should not have worked. But 4 rivals pull it off. They're insane. They're madmen. All I can do is just appreciate the fact that they committed to. They ended up going out in the end, but they took Nova with them.
I'm just absolute champions. Yeah, they get eliminated, but hey, that's 3 or 4 elimination points for them, right? While going out in style. That caught me off guard. I'm sorry, that really caught me off guard. I wasn't seeing that. I'm like, yeah, 4 rivals are out of here, but they're like, we're gonna take you with us. And Nova, they go down kicking and screaming. In the meantime, Xavier, these nades are harassing 2 teams simultaneously. BTR, of course, being the team right next to them. And what are Xavier gonna do? They're gonna be pushing in. They're gonna be riding straight into them. Absolute insanity. And they're gonna get knocked down because of that Lamborghini. Having spotted Zoxy, deals a bit of damage. Doesn't exactly know where he is, and he gets shot from afar. Infinity, the saviors of BTR, as Stalwart Esports now having to go up close and against Genesis Dogma. Scry, he knows there's someone nearby in the smoke. He knows someone's lying prone. Eventually he'll fall. And Stalwart Esports now having to battle against Reject, because look at Sarah just charging into the direction.
This is so good from Reject. They've left until kind of like the final second to push out that compound. Genesis Dogma got ahead of them. They took out Genesis Dogma. They're now coming in from behind. They're going to be able to take the shots on the Stalwart. However, Enigma Galaxy from that southeast side are taking advantage of them. Ray Joso gets knocked. Sarah gets knocked. Stalwart keep themselves alive. Pika and Scry, together they stand united. They stay up.
I don't know how Stalwart is still alive and kicking. It looked like Reject were just completely going to ruin the day, but the tables have been flipped. And Reject, Duello, and Divine need to get the reses. Duello trying to provide a bit of suppressing fire in the direction of Stalwart now. They need to move in. They need to move in real quick. Infinity, though, 10 eliminations. Imperium, 10, and all 4 still alive. Still looking for more news. Maybe getting a little too overeager. Sarah, in the meantime, is still somehow crawling around. Eventually, he'll fall to Pika, and Reject are now down to, I do believe, just to 2 members, unless I'm very much mistaken here. And Galaxy going for a play. This is dangerous, but Logan out in the open in his car. Somehow, a little bit of Ridge providing some cover for the time being.
Modi's, he's on his own. Enigma have had a hell of a game. They are down to 2.5 because Freak is knocked down on his knees. Sorry, Hamodi throwing an nade forward is good, but it's also a bit of a risk because one nade towards him, he's going to get knocked. Reject end up going down at the hands of Stalwart. I appreciate what Reject were trying to do, just didn't work out in this case as Pika keeps himself alive. 5 teams left up. Deadeye's guys are still going strong, but they have to deal with MS Chambori.
Hamodi quickly finished off though. Enigma Galaxy, they know they have to go for the play.
That was a risk.
Charging in straight into the Lion's Den. And Infinity, they're not stopping anytime soon. They're going for this. The nade, it looks good. Freak, oh, he dodges it somehow. Rough in the meantime will be finished off. Enigma Galaxy down just to 1 man. His head spotted, and he will be finished. Infinity 12 is still going, and the only team who could potentially take them down is seemingly MS Chonburi. Right now, on the edge of the circle, they got the vehicles, they got his compound, but Infinity, they look nigh untouchable. And for Stalwart Esports, Scry, the last man standing, he will be finished. And now it is a final 2 teams, 8 players in the server, a 4 versus 4.
Look at God Tunny. He's holding on to that cover. He's keeping an eye on MS Chambori. This is perfect spread from Infinity. They knew that they couldn't really, secure the backs by having 4 players where they were, so they needed to have 1 player covering. MS Chambori had been able to go on the other side, but at the end of the day, like I said, God Tunny comes in to get 2 knocks to MS Chambori, and the advantage once again over to Infinity.
It's incredible. Did they have 14 eliminations?
I know.
They could actually get 18. I think that's a record, right? Like I think one team got a 17, but 18. It's looking likely. It's looking very likely. The res might just take place here, but no, first Jasper has to patch himself up, and while that's going on, the bullets are just whizzing past a couple of them, ramming in the body slot. TB13 has a lot of work to do. A wild spray coming out from his M4, not quite able to connect, but all the reses, Pmgc, if he gets res as well, it could still be a 4v4. MS John Burry, they're not quite out yet.
I was thinking, Infinity, please don't rely on the circle staying in your direction. You got to keep the pressure on. The little bit of a dip, it is to your advantage as well within the circle, but you just can't rely on it. They didn't. They pushed forward, and now MS John Burry, they're under a hell of a lot of pressure.
Yeah, out in the open barely, and he covered up a couple of trees. Another 2 knocks going the way of Infinity. Make that 3. Pmgc, last man standing, looking to stand and deliver. But I gotta say, it's looking unlikely. On 20 HP, 10 HP, and he will be finished eventually. MS John Burry will fall after a valiant one last stand. But the Infinity, 18 eliminations, Imperium, and the chicken dinner. What a statement. They don't even need these points.
Are we looking at the Pmgc East champions right now? I can't help but feel that, man.